and welcome to another episode of Tribunal of the Grid, where we talk about all things Power Rangers, including the actors that play them. My name is Brandon.
I am Lena.
I'm Will.
And today we are coming at you guys with a special episode. Now, there is no guest. It's just us three. So I'm just like, oh no guests, like no interviews. What? Yes, I know.
Well, but we do have plenty for you to go back on and actually listen to them.
Exactly. This is very true. We have plenty of interviews that you can definitely go back and listen to, and just get your life, because in this moment, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of civil unrest. There's a lot of just tensions being very high. There's a lot of anger. And, we do what we do because we love what we do. And we want to bring you guys entertainment. So with that being said, if you feel low, if you just feel like I can't, go ahead and put on one of our episodes. Just go ahead and put on one of our episodes so we can make you laugh or whatever. Just whatever you need to do. But with that being said, today is not one of those episodes. Well, it may not be one of those episodes where we'll be laughing too much. I mean, I know I'm still gonna laugh because I laugh at everything. But there are some things that we will definitely be discussing. But first and foremost, we are going to talk about some news that has hit the interwebs this past week. So the airing dates for Beast Morphers season 2 has been released.
Ooh.
And yes. Now, as of right now, Beast Morphers in the US is on hold. So pretty much it's like, we're on hiatus here, and basically it's just kind of like we're just kind of just sitting around, just doing nothing, waiting for those new episodes to appear in the fall. But as of right now in Australia,
Ooh. Down under.
actually will down under. Those people there will be getting Beast Morphers earlier than we will. First of all, I have a question for you guys. Have y'all been enjoying it? Have y'all been enjoying season 2? Well, Lena, have you seen season 2 at all?
I haven't started season 2 yet, only because I haven't got them on Netflix in Canada yet. So, no. Not yet.
Oh, she's trying to do it the legal way. Okay. All right. But Will, what about you?
It's a little bit of a mix, kind of like season 1 was. I actually, before we started, I watched the last 2 episodes, or at least the episode before last. I watched them full, and then I watched some of the last one. And some things. Yeah. Like some episodes catch me and grab me, and then others don't really. So I think the last time that we spoke about it, I think we spoke about a couple of episodes from season 2, and I pretty much feel the same way.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty much kind of the same way as well. For me, it's a mixed bag. There's some things that are like, yes, I'm living for it. I love it. And then there are some things where I'm just like, I could have had a V8. But I mean, it's all good. It's all good. It has been a show. It has been a show. Instead of just something just to play in the background while you do other things. It actually has been somewhat entertaining. So, I mean, that is something to be said. But we are actually here to give you the news on the new episodes that will be coming out in Australia starting June 6th on 9 Go at 1:30 p.m. Now, the first episode, you might be asking, is going to be episode 9. Well, actually, like I said, they're airing all of season 2. So the episodes that we actually that we have not seen starting as of right now is episode 9. So they're airing all of season 2 up until the end. So beginning at episode 9 is going to be the Evox Snare. Grid Battle Force shuts down the Morph X towers to lure Evox into a trap. That's episode 9.
That's it? That's all they said?
Yes, that's the summary.
Okay.
Episode 10, Intruder Alert. The Rangers receive a strange message from outer space warning of an impending threat. Now, episodes 10 and 11. 11 is called The Greater Good. The Rangers do everything they can to help their new ally return home. Now, apparently, the rumor is episode 10 and 11 actually is going to consist of a character by which in Japan is known by the name Space Sheriff Gavon.
Okay.
That character has made appearances in Super Sentai a couple times in different specials.
Oh.
So they're bringing him here for the very first time. Kind of like the episode in Ninja Steel with Sheriff Skyfire, that infamous Haley episode that was so god awful. It's basically going to be an episode like that, where they just bring in a completely different character from a completely different tokusatsu altogether. So yeah, it's going to be a Gavon special. Now we don't know if his name is actually going to be called Gavon, but basically, ooh, okay. But yeah, we don't know if his name is going to be Gavon, but I mean, we'll see. Episode 12, Finders Keepers. A hasty decision by Zoe puts an old friend in danger. And then, the one that everyone has been waiting for. Episode 13, Grid Connection. In an epic battle, the Beast Morphers team up with the Dino Thunder, Dino Charge, and Mighty Morphin Power Rangers to defeat the newest member of Evox's team. Pause. Thoughts. What are your thoughts on this, guys?
Why are they airing everything overseas and before it airs here? I don't understand why they're still doing that.
You know, that's a good question. I don't know.
And like,
I have no idea.
And then wouldn't that ruin like the? I'm assuming this is the episode that they're gonna have like Austin St. John and all of them people back, right?
Yes, it is.
So wouldn't that ruin the whole? Yeah, like that's just I don't know where to begin. I don't know where to begin.
Yeah, that doesn't make much sense. Because it's of course, no offense to people overseas, but it's an American show, so you think that we get it first, and then then the rest of the world, or maybe even at the same time.
That's what I was thinking, because like remember that something similar like that happen where they released like the 2017 movie here first or somewhere like that, and then China and other places got it like 3 months down the road. But at that point, nobody was gonna go watch it because they already saw it illegally online.
Well, also too, I feel like I guess like we would have to like also keep in context as well that the airing schedules, like the actual broadcasting station that where it's airing on is also different as well. With Nickelodeon, they only air things in little small windows. Like they only have like a small like little time.
Right.
And then they go on hiatus. Most places in other countries, they just air everything all at the same time.
I mean,
so
that's fair.
I'm pretty sure that's probably what the reason of that is, because like case in point, if we didn't have a hiatus at this point, we'd pretty much be halfway through the show by the time Australia actually start, you know what I'm saying? Actually start airing their episodes, we would already be halfway through.
It's just so silly.
It really wouldn't. The hiatus is what's making everything
right
weird.
Well, like I think it's so silly because like kind of like going back to what we were saying earlier. I just feel like just having everything all. I just feel like why can't around the world now that we're in such high tech these days that just communicate and be like, guys, let's just all air all of this stuff at once so that way we get X amount of viewerships. You know, I don't know. Because like I feel like a lot of our shows these days are now viewerships, right? Like whatever is being watched when it's like actually being aired, right?
Right. So no, and also too, I think too, and I've been saying this, but we definitely should be getting away from Nickelodeon.
Yeah,
because Nickelodeon, I don't know what the hell that is. Nickelodeon, like they treat the show like we some bald head hood rats in the streets, like just doing whatever, and they still showing like danger. They giving all the love to the Danger Forces child. Like I mean, they just giving all the love to them, and they treating Power Rangers like we're some bald head redhead stepchildren or something. Like it's weird. Like the energy that they give Power Rangers, they don't give. Like the energy that they don't give the Power Rangers, they give to other shows.
Oh yeah,
they don't show Power Rangers.
Yeah, for sure.
So you know, it's really weird. It's this really weird, disappointing type of situation going on with Nickelodeon and Power Rangers.
Yeah, and it makes me wonder why they even have the show on their channel if they're not gonna treat all their shows equally.
Right. Yeah, like it's really weird. I don't like it. I never liked it. Honestly, I never liked that relationship.
I've been even in the beginning.
No, I hated it, especially in Samurai. I hated it. I hated it because remember when Samurai first aired, they aired it out of order. The very first episode was episode 3.
Right.
I'm like, what the hell is this? Why is like, what is this? What is going on? Like, why is this a Mike episode? The very first episode ever. You know,
I'm
ever
so
Samurai
glad.
is a Mike episode. It's like, what? What?
I can honestly say this. I'm so glad I haven't had cable TV in like years. So obviously when I watched Samurai, I watched it on like I think Netflix or something. So I never had to experience all of this foolishness that you're talking about. So I actually have no idea what. Like, not that I have no idea, but I obviously know that the Power Rangers in Canada is not as big as it is in the States. And I don't know why that is, but it's actually interesting. Like, I'll give you an example. Like, you guys all have, like, something really simple, like coloring books and, like, binders and, like, you know, like, notebooks and stuff like that for back to school, right? Even stickers. We have Jack All at our Walmart. And that's Walmart. Like, that's, like, a store that's all across North America. Jack All. When y'all got, like, you know, the 2017 movie, like, merch? With all the school supplies, the plunge. I got nothing here. Nothing. I think I went to, like, 4 Walmarts before I finally found, like, a plush toy. And even then, they only had one of the Rangers. They even have all 5.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so what you're saying, like I don't even get to experience half that stuff because Power just basically does not exist in Canada. It's really sad. Like it's really sad. Like even like actually another perfect example. Like the other day, I finally got my Nintendo Switch and I wanted to get the Battle of the Grid. I think that's what the game's called, or something like that.
Yeah, Battle of the Grid.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I wanted to get it, right, but when I went online on I couldn't find it anywhere in Canada. So then I was like, oh, okay, maybe I'll find it through the States. Of course, I find tons of copies through the States, but then everybody wants like minimum $100 for it. So that's like really expensive for me because by the time I convert it, and then obviously shipping on top of all of that is like 200 Canadian dollars. So I'm like, what the fudge? For a game? Forget this. I'm not doing this. So luckily I was able to buy it like online and have it, like digitally downloaded for like $20 Canadian. So it was really good. But like I was shook because I was like, but this is such a big game. Like everyone is raving on about it and how great it is. I see all these like YouTube reviews on them. And so why is it that I can't get it in Canada at all?
That's crazy.
Right?
That's crazy.
Right? So when you guys are talking about Nickelodeon doing this, I'm like, I can't even say I know about it. Because Nickelodeon Canada, they don't even mention the Power Rangers. It does not exist for them.
Wow. Wow. Well, I mean, at least, I guess you can say at least we get that. But I mean, it's just like, because like I remember when Power Rangers was first when they first brought it back, and when they were like, oh, it's going to be on Nickelodeon, and oh, this is perfect because it reaches so many kids, and blah,
lies,
blah, blah, blah.
Lies.
And, right. But it's just like, okay, great. This is fantastic. But, I mean, you have to promote it first. Which, I mean, they did. They did for the first couple of years. They were promoting it hard. And then all of a sudden it was like, all right, y'all, we done. We are tired. We are tired of promoting y'all now. Like, girl, bye. We ain't got time no more.
Dead.
So, right, like, that's what it feels like. It feels like the people at Nickelodeon was like, girl, bye. We ain't got time for this. So,
I wonder
it's weird.
I wonder what happens to get them to that point. Like, is it the quality of the show? Because, I mean, Nickelodeon doesn't, all their shows aren't necessarily quality shows, but I guess they get the ratings. And then maybe merchandise, maybe Power Rangers toys just aren't selling as well as they did before, and then that's why they don't want to promote it. I just wonder what the decision, like the thought processes are behind the decision to not promote it.
Right. No, and that's something that I'm also interested in as well, because I mean it is like it's still it's still a thing. Like, I mean, people know what Power Rangers is, like they may not know the particular seasons, by like, oh
no,
yeah, I know
they know Mighty
about
Morphin
this particular season, but they know what Power Rangers is what I'm saying. Like they know what it is, but it's like, okay, if you know that people know what it is, like, promote it. Like, I'm pretty sure that, unless it may be a situation where, they may not be there may not be funding or like money being given to them, or not enough money given to them as far as like promotion wise, or there's probably hundreds of things or hundreds of reasons as to why they may not be promoting it, but I would love to find out. But guys, if we want to know, we want to know if anybody has any sort of lead or something, let us know, or even your idea on it. Like, let us know what you think, because we would love to know. We would love to know. But I was gonna say, actually, my thoughts on this episode, I already had a couple red flags pop up for me when I read when I was reading the synopses of season 2. Already red flags. I was triggered instantly. Why is this only one episode?
Oh, yeah.
It's one episode. One. I was so irritated. I was so irritated, y'all, because here's the tea. Here's the thing. We are about to get the same thing that we got with Ninja Steel, y'all. We about to get the same thing. And that bothers me because guess what? Y'all? Guess what?
It's gonna be a shitty episode.
Well, not quite.
And maybe some of the, it will be one of those situations where they all become Catherine, where they were there but they weren't there.
Well, that was a thing. That did happen. But what I was thinking was more than likely, because this person's name has been popping up a lot in these recent episodes. Simon Bennett, our new showrunner for Power Rangers going forward, had actually directed Dimensions in Danger.
Oh.
And 9 times out of 10, he's probably going to direct this one too.
Oh. I see the bigger issue now.
So, I'm very concerned. I'm concerned. I'm concerned because not because it's going. I feel like it's going to be a bad episode. I honestly, I have no idea. To be truthfully honest with you, I really don't know at this point because not Dino Charge. Jesus Christ, Beast Morphers is such a mixed bag that I really just don't know what they're going to be given, what they're going to be giving the kids. I just don't know. And that in itself scares me because at least with Ninja Steel, my expectations were extremely low because I just didn't care for Ninja Steel. So my expectations were very low for that anniversary special. And I mean, no tea, no shade. I mean, I love the cast. I really do. I love the cast. The cast are some of the best people ever. Let's just
did not get the greatest script in the world.
They did not. It was just like, dang, like y'all just got fed to the wolves, didn't y'all? But with Beast Morphers, it's a mixed bag. It's like sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, sometimes it's in the middle, sometimes it kind of starts out bad, then it gets good, and then it gets bad again, and it's all over the place. So it's just kind of like it could be good, but the thing is, it's like it's just like we just don't know. That's the scary part. It's like there's no expectation in it,
I mean, I feel like I already kind of expected what it would be now that we know certain key factors. We know it's going to be one episode. We know who may or may not be directing it. And we can obviously see we know who is definitely coming back and definitely who's not coming back because of someone else coming back. For a change, that was really nice.
Right.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. It just, to me, it just comes off as like, I don't know, like having this. Another thing that really bothers me too. This is the other red flag. The other red flag is that why are we giving a character that does not exist in like Power Rangers like that? He's a completely different character from a completely different show. Why are we giving that 2 episodes?
And I was actually about to say maybe it's a budget thing why this big episode can't be a 2-parter, but they gave a 2-parter to something else. Okay, that doesn't make any sense.
It makes no sense. Like I just don't get it unless it's a situation where that episode with Space Sheriff Gavon, those 2 episodes, unless they are the lead-in for the special, that would be interesting.
But that's still a lot of episodes.
But that's still a lot of episodes that does not include the actual, the original Power Rangers. Like, well, not the originals, but the past Power Rangers. Like, it's still a lot. Like, it's still a lot of episodes, and that's kind of weird.
I wonder what happened to those 2-parters. We used to get them, and they were fantastic.
Right.
Like, they were
That's
fantastic.
the thing.
Like, I love the little storylines, the little, like, what they've been up to kind of a situation, where they're at. Like, it was such a cute little catch-up. And, like, and I'm sure I when I say this, a lot of you guys can agree, like, it was almost like closure for us, for those characters that, like, that moved on. In a way, like, like, obviously we don't know what they're really up to now, but, like, in our little world, it was closure for us, and it was good to know that they have succeeded in what they meant to do, or that they wanted to do,
Right.
That's a shame. So it can't be a budget thing, because they can spend so much more money on everything else, and these episodes are the most crucial episodes of the entire show too. Like, these are the episodes that people watch to come, you know what I mean? For these episodes alone. Like, they watch the shows to watch these episodes alone. So that's what I'm trying to get at. Like, I remember, funny enough, for some strange reason, I've been wearing my Ranger shirts to go to work. Like, like a different color every single day. So usually, if you know, you know. So people will strike up a conversation with me if they know. And this one couple I was talking to, he was saying to his girlfriend he really loved my shirt. I was wearing the Billy shirt that day. And it was a super large one, so I crunched it up and I made it cute. So he was like, oh, I really like that shirt. Then he turned to me. He was like, is that a Power Ranger shirt? Because he didn't know for sure, because I had the front tied in a knot, because it was a really big shirt. And I was like, yeah, it is. So we struck up a conversation, and he's going on about how he's a great fan and all this stuff. And I'm like, yeah, like, me too, And we talked about, he didn't see all the seasons like we have, but he mentioned that he really enjoyed the team-ups. And that it was a shame that Ninja Soul,
that's cool.
Right, only had like 1 episode. Like, why couldn't they have more than 1 episode on that? And and he was like, it was such a big battle, like, I didn't understand that. And I was like, honestly, that's what me and my friends have been trying to figure out. Why are you inviting all these wonderful people, wasting their damn time, to fly them up to New Zealand so they can sit around and I don't know what they're doing when they're sitting around, but like, but I haven't done the acting world, but I've done background work, and background is a lot of sitting around. So, in all fairness, I feel like that's what they are when they're in New Zealand. They're just background for a lot of things, unless they have an actual role to do, right? So I just feel so bad that they take these amazing people out of their lives, fly them out, give us this big hype that they're all going to be in the show, and then we get nothing out of them. Nothing. Not even like what they've been up to, how's life, do they have kids? I mean, obviously with Kat and Tommy, we got a kid out of them, but like, that was after how many years, And so it's just a shame. And of course, kind of like what we mentioned before, all of these people are together acting like they don't know each other, period.
Right.
I don't know. So, but this is what we live for, and that's what the customer was saying, that he really enjoyed watching it because he knows that there are these team-ups. Sorry, that was my really long story, but that was the main point I was trying to get at, is that the team-up is why we all stick around for. A lot of the times.
And my thing is, even if they don't do team ups, like, even if they don't, like, it's always a treat when they do.
Yes.
Because they're bringing back past actors who we haven't seen in a while.
Yeah.
And when you bring these people back, we want them to do things. Like, the thing is, here's the thing. Here's the thing. And I don't want to throw shade to the cast that are actually on the show at that time, like the current cast or anything. My thing is, when they bring the old people back, these are the people that we want to see. These are the people that we tune in for. We don't, personally, I'm speaking for myself. I don't really care about the actual teams that we can see next week.
100%.
I don't care about them at that point. I want to see, the past Rangers that they brought back. I can care less that, the next episode, so-and-so has whatever going on. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm going to see them next week. I'm not going to see these people again. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I want to be able to see them being used. I don't really want to see the new Rangers, the current team, so much.
Mm-hmm.
So in saying that, do you think that if the current cast is given better stuff to work with, do you think that it would be that would make you more so want to see what they're doing with the, like them interacting with the new with the legends that are coming back? Like, if they actually kind of put some effort into the current season and made the character, more interesting, would you think that would change your opinion?
Absolutely. And not even, to be truthfully honest with you, like, reason why I said what I said was mainly going off of, damn, I sound like Nene Leaks, was going based off of what we've been getting for the past couple of years with team ups. Because when we would get team ups, basically it would just be little one-off situations where they don't really say anything. They pop in for like 2.5 seconds, put on a helmet, and you just hear voiceover work, and that's it. So basically, you just flew these people out to New Zealand just so that they can be background people. Like, that's basically what you did.
Yeah.
And they don't really interact or have any major bearings on the story except for the fighting scenes. That's really it. That's mainly what I'm speaking more towards. But if it was like a situation of like what we used to get with post Zordon era Saban, with like your team ups with like Lost Galaxy and your Lightspeed Rescues and your Time Forces and all of them and your Wild Forces, when we would get those kind of team ups, hell, even your Disney team ups, the Rangers, like they interacted. The past Rangers interacted with the current teams. Mm-hmm. That was when the shows were very interesting, because a lot of times they'd be like butting heads sometimes. Yep. And it's like, no, I want to do it this way. This is how we used to do it. This is how we used to, get down. No, you in the past. No, you ain't a Ranger no more. Or whatever. You sit your behind down. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, we want to see that. We want to see these interactions. Like, one of my favorite ones was when the Dino Thunder cast made a reprise in SPD.
Yes.
Not the one where the SPD Rangers went to the past, but the Dino Thunder Rangers went to the future.
Yes.
That episode. That is one of my favorite team-ups.
I totally thought of that when you said it. Oh.
Like, it was so cute, because it was like the SPD Rangers was like, them with they old powers in the past, like, we all high tech, you know what I'm saying? Like, we this, we that, we got training and all this stuff, and here they come trying to be Rangers, you know what I'm saying? Yep. They were acting so elitist to them.
Yeah.
And realized at the very end, it's like, oh crap, like, we really need their help.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And that in itself was like, oh, this is actually cool to watch,
Yep.
That's what we like to see. Personally, I don't really care if the Rangers come back, if they ain't gonna do nothing, or if they ain't gonna say nothing, like, what's the point? You know? So I kind of feel like that's what's gonna happen here. To be truthfully honest, I feel like it's gonna happen again. I mean, Austin St. John did say, like, the only way that he would come back is if the story was good. He never said if everybody else was gonna have something to do. Because I'm pretty sure he's going to have a lot to do in this episode. I'm almost positive he's probably going to be like Jason David Frank was with the Ninja Steel thing with Dimension and Danger. He's probably going to be like Jason David Frank, where the episode was primarily about him. So I can kind of see that energy, that might be what we might get again with this episode. I can kind of see it. And then just probably the Dino Charge cast. They might get a couple lines, but for the most part, they'll be in the background. I really feel like that's probably what's going to happen. But I could be wrong. But I really kind of feel like that's what's going to end up happening. But, you know.
We'll see.
We shall see. But there is more. Because they did the entire season. So episode 14, Nate is reunited with his do-gooder parents who offer him a compelling and difficult choice.
I wonder whose
so
parents
he's
are
not
going to be.
Billy's son, darn.
I was going to say Dr. K.
I was just going to say Dr. K and Ziggy too. Remember we had this like theory way back in the day?
Oh, yeah.
We had this theory way back in the day, way before they even said it. Like, way before. And for those of you, like, this is just like an FYI, just because we know, we want to claim it. It was one of our lost episodes that we never got released, but that's totally fine. But we totally had this discussion. That could have been Dr. K and Ziggy's kid. Because I can see it.
Absolutely. Like, like, personally, I don't... Here's the thing. The thing that kind of throws me off with this is they use the term do-gooder. What does that even mean? First of all, the Power Rangers universe exists in, like, Pleasantville. Everybody in this universe are do-gooders. Like, everybody. Like, there's not really any bad people in this universe. Like, there's really not. Like, let's just be for real. I mean, maybe back in the day there might be some people who was a little, you know, but
maybe they
not
mean
really
like people that are like helping the world, you know, like the Peace Corps and all that stuff.
But even then, like, those are Rangers. Like, those, you know, like I feel like when you refer to do-gooders, like, when you call someone a do-gooder, like, you're mainly talking about, like, an outstanding citizen. Like, they do absolutely, like, no wrong. And that's basically everybody in, like, since Power Rangers was brought back by Saban for the past, like, 8 years. Like, there really hasn't been any people in these universes that really weren't do-gooders. Like, everybody was always doing, like, the right thing, you know?
Yeah, true.
So I just kind of feel like when you call them a do-gooder, what I'm trying to figure out, like, what would they consider a do-gooder that people don't already do in this universe, you know?
I guess we'll find out soon enough. So,
yeah, like, that's what's striking me as odd, is that they use that particular term.
But then,
you know what I'm saying?
How are they do-gooder if they haven't seen their son in ages?
Boom!
Oh,
boom!
Oh. Just saying.
Mic dropped. Y'all left him at Grid Battle Force.
Mm-hmm. And then they used him as, like, a child prodigy? Is that okay, I was like, is that the correct word for it? I can't even think right now.
Yeah, like, y'all dropped this boy off and said, use him, use his brain, and left. So what's T?
Right? And then on top of that, last time I checked, it's not child labor.
I wonder if he gets paid.
That's exactly.
I was gonna say he might get paid.
That's exactly what I was just gonna say. Like, I don't like whether he gets paid. That's still bad because this is child labor right here.
Hey, like if I'm getting paid, I ain't complaining.
I mean, okay, let's be honest here for 2.5 seconds. Nate seems like he's well off, okay? Like, you know, he seems like he's well off. Obviously, it was one of us. Yeah, we ain't complaining because we broke. Our asses is broke. So we ain't complaining. But Nate seems like he's well off. Like, he doesn't seem like he has to worry about money a day in his life. And that's a good thing. That's a really good thing. There's nothing wrong with that, especially since he seems to be using his knowledge and his skills level for the, you know, for the greater good of society. So there's really nothing wrong with that. But let's be honest here. He does not seem like he's struggling like we are in COVID-19.
No. Not at all. Not at all. Not at all.
So, you know.
Not at all.
Whether or not he gets paid, it's still child labor.
And I mean, I'm pretty sure he lives in Grid Battlefield.
Right?
Like, I mean, I'm pretty sure he lives there.
I'm sure he lives there. Then it makes me wonder, like, does he go to bed? Like, who tucks him in at night when he was a kid? Or, like, does he just, like, have these rules that are implemented on him and he's supposed to abide by them?
That's actually a really good question.
You know what I mean? Like,
how much they're actually going to answer.
Like,
you know they're not.
Like, he's been there since he was a kid, right? So, like, or a child. How old was he? Did they ever specify that?
I don't think they... Did they specify an age?
I feel like when we first... Like, in the first couple of episodes, or maybe the first episode, they might have told us, but I could be wrong.
I feel like...
Well, I know they said that he discovered it when he was young, but I don't know if they
10.
said an age.
Yeah, they said it... I remember they said... Okay, if I remember correctly, if this is correct, I recall or I'm feeling the number 10. Something along the lines of, like, he discovered something at the age of 10. I mean, I could be wrong, but 10 is coming to me. And, yeah, so super young. So, even then, like, he's been there since he was a child and with no parents around. And I'm pretty sure Commander Shaw doesn't stick around. She had her own kid to raise.
Unless she raised them with
Ravi. She raised them both, yeah.
Oh, good point. So then wouldn't Ravi and Nate be more like brothers? Then why would Nate be looking for a brother if Ravi's kind of like his brother?
That's a very good point.
You know what I mean? Like, because, like, yeah, but they don't seem like they like each other. Like, obviously they like each other because, hello, like you said, we're in Pleasantville, right? But, like, they don't have the bond like you would expect it had they been raised together.
Sure.
You know, like, I mean, we're dissecting. See, yeah, they're not do-gooder. I'm sorry.
No, like like I said, that really struck me as weird. I was just like, what is this? Like, what is this do-gooder stuff? This is weird. And they're gonna make him make a choice. So I mean, it's probably gonna be like, ooh, come back to go do-gooder things with us. Don't be a ranger, you know. Help us save the Amazon rainforest or something. I don't know. That sounds like a very horrible do-gooder voice. I am so sorry to all the do-gooders out there. I was just about to say, I
love the voice. I'm dead. That was, like, perfect. I can just see you, like, smoke a cigar with a whiskey on ice, being like, come back, son. Do gooder stuff with us.
Come do gooder stuff with us.
And you're saying this like behind your desk in the library. What are they called? You know what I'm talking about? Like those den with all the books behind you in a suit. Dead.
Oh my God. Wow. Like I said, I'm so sorry to all the do-gooders out there. I am not trying to pick at you or make fun of you. That is not what I'm trying to do. I am really sorry.
Or you can just, comment in this little section later on and tell us what a do-gooder do. We can learn from that.
Exactly. Episode 15. Ravi and Roxy's anniversary hits a major snag when a misunderstanding gets out of control.
Wow. Wonder what it could be.
This sounds like Calvin and Haley.
Shut the front door. Don't say that.
I said the same thing. I said the
Hopefully,
same
Robbie's
thing.
not as
I was like, ooh, if Robbie turns into Calvin in this episode and he forgets the anniversary, I am going to lose it. I am going to lose it. I am going to lose it because, baby, we all know how I feel about Calvin. Calvin is the skull of the earth. Ravi hasn't really been like as bad as Calvin, so I'm not gonna give him that kind of like that kind of read, but like I don't know, like I was triggered. I'm not gonna lie to you, I was triggered.
But keep in mind though, Roxy's sassy. So I don't think Roxy will let that shit slide. She's sassy. So I don't know. I don't really see her letting that shit slide. Like, remember when she called them out when they became Rangers and she was like, well, I thought you said that was a stupid rule. You know, like, I feel like she'll call him out. I feel like she won't be like Haley where she'll forgive him, whatever it may be. So I feel like she would call him out, make him, you know, gravel a little bit, work hard a bit, and then they'll get back together. But...
Well, there's a thing though, because I kind of felt like they did Haley wrong though, because when Haley did actually get fed up and snap, they made her feel bad for it.
They did. They did.
They made it seem like it was her fault, and I'm like, no,
that's an abusive relationship.
She just had enough of it. Like, what? No, like, We're not doing this. We're not getting on Ninja Steel. We're not doing it. We're not going to do it.
Oh, stop lying.
I can't. I just can't. Because see, if I start talking about Ninja Steel, my blood pressure gonna rise, and I just can't.
And this is gonna turn into a 5 to 6 hour episode. We don't want that.
Okay, you know, just like dragging Ninja Steel, and I just can't. I can't. But you know, I don't know. Like I do kind of feel like this episode is going to be like I don't know. Like maybe it's going to be a situation where like Robo Roxy is going to do something and try to mess it up for Roxy and Ravi, for human Roxy and Ravi, or something. She's probably going to do something kind of weird or like do something sneaky
or pretend to be her.
Yeah. Something
I could see that. You know what? If that does happen, though, that I could see that though, because that would be a better storyline than him forgetting the anniversary. And in all fairness, too, I will say this: I really doubt Ravi would forget it, only because he seems like he's really in love with Roxy. Like he was by her bedside every single day, and then
like a creep.
Right, like a really creepy.
Is that really like a creep if that's the love of your life?
I
mean, it is creepy when you're drawing pictures of them while they're sleeping.
Well, like technically, she wasn't sleeping; she was in a coma.
That is a little creepy.
Well, I mean,
I'm just saying
it could be romantic. Like, have you not seen like K-drama? Like, that's romantic. Like, this Korean drama,
also seen
like
K-pop videos, and they are also very weird as well. Like. I mean,
anyway, I mean, anyways, points aside of him being creepy, I feel like he won't forget because he truly does care for her. I mean, granted, he did carry a photo of them two in the back of his pocket, uncreased or anything like that. Like,
right.
You could have that on your cell phone, but hey, it's okay. We can be like old school, and no, you're not even a wallet, like just like a photo in the back of his.
Ew, people still
on your ass.
On your ass, exactly. Like, it's not even in his wallet. It's not even like in his, car holder ID. Nah, just a photo, a 4x6, just in your ass pocket, uncreased by the way, like very uncreased. Not even a bent in the photo. That he just whips out whenever it feels like it and be like, "Oh, Roxy, I miss you so."
I can't. This show already is just, I can't. Now, this is the one. This one right here, I'm not even gonna lie to you. It was weird for me. I can't. Like when I saw this one, I was just like, I don't know how I feel about this. And I'll tell y'all why in a second. But this episode 16, Nate and Steele accidentally swaps bodies. Y'all.
Freaky Friday.
Y'all, I'm sorry. I have to say this. I thought
you were about to say swap spit.
Yo,
that's gross.
That would be a hell of a lot more entertaining.
That's how you get COVID-19, guys. Don't try this at home.
That would be entertaining. I'm just like, bow chicka, wow, wow. I'm just saying. But anyway, like, no, like, you know, I love Abraham. I do. I do. Like, and that's not even no shade. Like, I think Abraham is doing an amazing job in the show. However, this influx of just mad Nate episodes, like, we are getting a lot of Nate. Like, a lot of Nate. And to me, it kind of feels like Nate is going to be like how, like, Nate is going to be like like how every season there's like a particular ranger that the season mainly revolves around.
Yeah.
I feel like that's who this season is mainly revolving around.
Oh my God! I just realized. Yeah, it's more so than Red Ranger.
Yeah, it's very Gold Ranger focused. Not and that's a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. But this episode literally could have been an episode that could have been done with any other Ranger. Like, they could have picked Zoe. They could have picked Cruz even. They could have picked Devin, Devon. They could have picked anybody, but you picked Nate. I don't know. Like, this episode could have been with anybody. Why did they choose Nate?
Well, I think if anything, I think the reason why they chose Nate is because probably Nate was doing something in his lab, and what's his face is there? Who's there? Steele, right? So Steele is probably there to help him because, they're brothers and they do things together. So my prediction is that he probably hit the wrong button and then they swap bodies.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably what's going to end up happening. But I mean, there's still like other ways they could have, they could spin it, because I mean, just like with the Ninja Storm episode where Shane becomes Sensei, and then all of a sudden, like, they went to try to correct it, and then instead of Shane getting back into his body, and Sensei getting back to his body, like, Dustin was being an idiot, and he ends up like getting caught in the crossfire, and then Sensei becomes Dustin, and Dustin becomes Sensei. Like, that is like, oh, okay, like, other people, like, other people are becoming other people. You know what I'm saying?
You know what would have been funny if Zoe and Nate swap bodies.
That would be an episode.
Like,
I would like to see that.
I would like to see that. Because, they got feels for each other.
They're yeah, that's kind of creepy. I think that's kind of creepy.
What?
Like, especially if they haven't done anything yet, and then they just have each other's bodies.
Listen, I have some X-rated thoughts, but I'm gonna keep it PG. But I mean, it ain't like he wasn't probably looking at it before,
right?
Like, okay, all right. All right, she got some nice stuff on her, and then all of a sudden he switches. He's like, "Oh my God, I have these body parts. Oh my God."
And maybe,
I don't know. Like,
and maybe it'll be an interesting episode, because it could be one of those episodes where, like, when he switches back, he has like a whole new appreciation. I don't know, for like,
this is true.
You know what I mean? True. Like, for ladies in general, not just Zoe, and
right,
and Zoe vice versa. Like, I could see that, like, Because, once you switch back, it's like, Hot Chick or like Freaky Friday. Okay, Freaky Friday was just mom and daughter, but like, like the Hot Chick when they swap bodies, and you all seen that movie, right? Where, what's his name? Rob Schneider? No. Is that his name? I don't know. Anyways, Rachel McAdams and this guy switched bodies in the movie, and he ends up using her body to be a hooker. Like a dancer, not even like a hooker in a bad way. Like he just wanted to make money and dance because he knew that he had a hot bod, and the teenager Anna Sweep is getting into the body of an older gentleman. So she's trying to like get back together with her ex-boyfriend or boyfriend. I don't even know. Anyways, I'm rambling. Back to the real issue at hand. Nate and Zoe switching body.
I think it would be cool. I do. I think it'd be cool. I think it would be a better idea than this, to be honest. But I mean, it is what it is. But whatever. Episode 17. When Zoe accidentally ruins her brother's chances for a scholarship.
Wait, she has a brother?
Anything to make it right. Apparently, she has a brother.
Damn, her mom got busy making kids while she's a reporter. So my question is, where's the father?
I mean, Daddy might be at home. Daddy might be at home chilling, or he might work at a factory, or
he could be dead.
Well, they love killing parents.
I mean,
they'll kill a parent in a heartbeat in the show.
She has a brother? Damn.
I had no idea she had a brother.
I don't think anyone did until now.
Yeah, because like they never focused on
her brother at this point.
And she never mentions her brother.
I said, why haven't we seen her brother at this point? Why hasn't she mentioned him at this point? And
that's weird. I don't know. I mean, listen. They just feel like, we just trying to give people families. We just trying to make sure that everybody has some sort of background on this show, and I trying to make everybody feel like they have a complete family. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm still excited that Well, here's the thing. I don't like that there are certain people who we still don't really know too much more about as far as like their family backgrounds. Like we know that Mayor Dad is married. We know that, and we know that the mom is still there. We just haven't seen her. So, I mean, that's neither here or there. I mean, like, I would love to see Miss Daniels. We would love to see her. But 9 times out of 10, we ain't gonna see her. Because, I mean, I feel like we would have seen her by now. Like, we would have seen her at some point. But I don't think we're ever gonna see her. Commander Shaw, like, is she married? Do she got a husband? Or is she a single mother?
That's what I always assumed.
Like there's a lot that's just like, like, are these people like, are they complete units? Like, do they have like a complete family, or are people missing in the family? Like, there's just a lot, and I do appreciate that they are trying to give Zoe more family and more stuff to do. So that's always good. But that did kind of strike me too. It was like, oh, she has a brother? Like, oh, okay. This is a thing. Which affects his relationship with Cruz. Drugs.
Wow. Well, the mystery that you did made me think that they actually were going to give him like a romantic interest, which I feel like we haven't really seen a Red Ranger get in ages.
True.
But
not true.
I don't know.
Dino Charge.
I don't care. It's cool that they're doing something with Cruz, because I remember when the season started, or actually when this series started. I was worried that the B spots were going to be annoying and be overused, but then they just stopped using them. Period, which I don't like because I actually like them. But
You did this. You did this, Will. You wish this upon us.
I thought like they were going to give us some more episodes like they did when the B spots was it they
threw them a,
oh my God,
birthday party?
They were throwing the party.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really cute.
That was so cute.
That was a nice use of them.
I really liked that episode.
It just stopped.
Yeah.
But any thoughts?
I mean, well, you know I have thoughts on this. You know I do. Like, honey, listen. Listen here, child. Here's the deal. We know Red is the big kahuna. We know this. But dag, like, can we get something from Smash and Jax? Like, I mean, good grief. Like, we ain't got nothing, no personal episodes from those two.
Not true.
At all.
Remember when Ravi was trying to hide his secret, like, painting, artistic stuff, and his Smash inherited it because he tried to erase his, like, memory?
Okay. That was, okay.
Right? That was, like, a cute episode of Smash being like, I'm painting. I didn't know I could paint like this.
Okay, I'll take that. But Jax?
I mean, the only cute episode.
We're going to have her own episode for that to happen.
Well,
yeah, this is true.
Maybe it's the Zoe episode where she ruins her brother's scholarship. Mm-hmm. Maybe he might have something to do.
I wonder what scholarship that she managed to ruin. How does it involve? Like, do you think it's a scholarship to get into, like, the battle force? Or what is it called? Like, what's the academy called?
Grid Force?
Oh, Grid Force.
Grid Battle Force?
Yeah. Like, do you think that's the scholarship they're talking about? Because how else could she be involved in another scholarship?
Well, or it could be, she might have probably promised to help him with something or something, and maybe didn't come through on her end due to her ranger duties. Maybe.
This is true.
And she's like, oh crap, I'm gonna use my mother with her journalism stuff to make everything right.
Yeah.
Nepotism.
Okay.
Episode 19. Nate makes a horrifying discovery and must rely on the wisdom of an ally to help him work through it.
An ally?
I wonder what the hell that is.
I bet you since this is episode 19, I guarantee they discover Evox's plan. And he relies on the wisdom of it. Now, this is the part that gets me. He relies on the wisdom of an ally. Who could that ally be?
An ally. Do you think it could be his parent? His mom?
I was thinking it could be Dr. K.
His mom. Yeah, right? I mean, I'm sorry. I'm at the point where I'm convinced Dr. K is his mom, so...
This is true. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it could be.
I wonder if, do we have any idea if Dr. K and whoever else is coming back from RPM, if they're going to be in the Austin St. John episode, or are they going to be in a separate episode?
This could be the separate episode.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't know for sure. Well, no, we don't know for sure if they're going to be in that particular episode, I don't think.
But this could be the episode. Oh, I was saying that this could be that episode we're talking about.
Okay.
That she could make an appearance in. Because they never did they didn't confirm that she was gonna be in the same episode as the Austin St. John episode for sure. But they never said when I was gonna be separate either. So for all we know, it could be the episode we're actually talking about.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You all heard it here first.
And that would actually be cool. That would be cool.
Right?
That would actually be kind of dope. It's like, oh wow, like a whole different character from a whole different season is like
in a different universe.
Exactly. Is the one that is like, hey, there's a problem. So that'll actually be kind of cool.
Right, and anything is possible too, because like they have the morphing grid, so anything's really possible.
Mm.
Right.
Ooh,
I wonder if Grid Battle Force. I wonder if Grid Battle Force got that teleporter thing from the Ninja Steel season.
Oh, God. You know they probably do. Or remember too. Remember the teleporters, the transporters, the little things that Nate built?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
They might use those.
Oh.
I wonder. I was watching one of the last episodes, and I do not understand why they still haven't brought back teleportation for the Rangers. The Rangers were stuck in traffic, and it was taking them a while to get to the battle. And like
that's dumb.
Teleportation could have helped that. They can teleport their weapons, but can't teleport their bodies. I don't get it.
Or
I don't get that either.
Why don't they have a flying car like Billy built?
Or something like that, yeah. They have SUVs. They've had SUVs for the last 8 years.
True. Child, listen. They said that they are trying to be economical.
It's fantasy.
And I wonder if that's the same SUV that was used in Samurai.
I wouldn't be surprised. But then again, that is a long time ago.
Hey, you know the show Time and Budget. They were probably like, baby, we just gonna go ahead and slap a GB sticker on this mug. Boom. There you go. That's all you need. That's all she wrote, honey. Episode 20. Evox finally executes his master plan.
Wow.
And the Rangers must do everything they can to stop him, even potentially sacrificing one of their own. Still.
Right?
We already know. Like,
or
going to be
or Mayor Daniels.
Ooh.
That's the first thing that I thought of.
Oh.
Ooh.
Plot twist.
That's good. Plot twist. Now that'll be good. That'll be good. If
Don't
he
make
sacrifice his daddy.
Did you hear what I said?
What did you say?
Don't make it lackluster though.
Child, listen. Like, listen. I feel like if they were to do that, if they were to really go that route and be like, this dude about to sacrifice his daddy, that would be some intense. That would be intense. Like that would be a finale. Like, oh my God, he gonna sacrifice his daddy for the greater good. Like that would be like, wow. But
it might not be neither of them. Or it might not be neither of them. It might be one of the Rangers.
Who do you think it is?
I think it's gonna be Devon. Only because he's team leader, and I feel like he would do whatever it takes to ensure that his team members are safe, and that he's always seems to be willing to, sacrifice what needs to be done or the right thing to do.
Okay. I mean, we are not wrong. We don't know yet.
No, we don't.
I mean, but that makes sense though. It makes sense because I do feel like the Devon would 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 do something like
You
that.
know,
I
like
do.
right,
I
like
think
remember
he would
when
do something like
he
that.
went through that tunnel to try to save no, it wasn't him. He got kidnapped. I'm trying to remember the episode. You know the episode where his dad went through the tunnel to try to save him? And
Mm-hmm.
was he like kidnapped? I can't remember what happened now.
Yeah, he was kidnapped at that point.
Okay. Yeah, and I remember he was like shook that like someone came for him because he was hoping that no one would.
Yeah, because then Daddy came in there and hit that Tronic with a pole.
Yeah.
Like, ugh, yeah. So we shall see.
We shall see that.
We love to see it.
It would be an interesting episode for sure.
Oh yeah, I definitely think it's going to be a very interesting little ending episode. I think it's gonna be cute. I think it's gonna be a good ending. Because that is the final episode. The final countdown.
It is.
And then we have 2 extras right after.
Oh.
Now these episodes may be, fillers, or, like they may happen somewhere in between, like, somewhere in between whenever it was actually airing. But Boxed In, which already had aired back in April, that one is episode 21. And episode 22, Evox decides to add a new villain to his team and commands his minions to find the evilest villain of all time.
Astronomer.
It better not be freaking what's his name? Oh my God, what's his name? Sledge. It better not be him.
Oh no!
If they bring Sledge, I will crack up laughing.
No.
Please bring back Sledge. Bring him back. Bring him back. Now that you say it, bring back Sledge. Bring back Sledge. I want it. Bring him back. Because that will be hilarious. If he's like, bring me the most evilest villain of all, and then Sledge comes like walking in like, yeah. Like what
if
are
it's
you
not
doing here?
What if it's not even Sledge? What if it's Sledge's like girlfriend or wife? What was her name?
Cassandra?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yes. I'm here for it.
What?
Didn't she leave him and blow him up or something?
Oh.
Yeah, they got blown up.
Oh.
Together.
Yeah. So they may or may not be alive. I don't know.
I mean, they're like roaches. They'll come back. They'll be alive. They'll be fine.
Facts. I agree.
I
agree. 100%.
Yeah, it'd be funny if it's Cassandra. Like for me, the most evil villain ever, and Cassandra shows up. I'm here for that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm definitely here for that. Like, bring back poor Sandra. Like, bring them back because they love making these reprises of these characters anyway. So I mean, bring them back. I mean, you're going to probably do it anyway. I mean, who else would it be? I mean, or what I would like to see, and maybe this may or may not happen. I don't know. But what I would like to see is them actually bring back, the character that they do bring in, have that character actually be the next villain for the next season.
Oh.
That'd be pretty cool. I think you mentioned something like that before, but I can't see them having that type of foresight.
Oh.
I mean, of course, they wouldn't have that kind of foresight. Of course they wouldn't.
They magically happen to listen to this episode and go, that's a great idea. Let me do that.
Son, please, that would never happen. Hint, hint, hint. Hey, Hasbro, listen to our episode.
Right? We gotta send it out there, We gotta send it out there. Send the vibes out there in the universe. We gotta let them know.
Like, listen, I don't know. Like, that would actually be like a really cool thing if they were to pull that kind of stunt. Like, I think that would be kind of cool. I think so.
I'll be here for that.
Why not?
I'm down.
Yeah. So that is all of the episodes of Beast Morphers. Now, one thing before we move on, to summarize how I feel about the rest of this season, I actually, to be honest, I'm not disappointed. Like, it seems like it's going to be a very Nate focused second half. I will say this though. I'm very disappointed that we are not getting any Blaze episodes.
Oh, wow. Good point.
We ain't gonna know nothing about this character. We ain't gonna know nothing about him, y'all. That is so sad.
That actually is really sad.
Like, I mean, and it ain't like, I mean, no tea, no shade, but it ain't like Robo Blaze is like the most captivating character. I mean, he's just kind of there just to get blown up again. Like, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Unless they're going to like do something with his character towards the end. Like, there's really nothing all that great about that character. I don't know. Like, I'm kind of disappointed that we're not getting a Blaze episode. I'm kind of disappointed. But yeah, there's no Blaze. But
well, you never know. Maybe the ally they're talking about could be Blaze.
It could be. It could be Blaze. It very well could be. But I mean, then again, I don't know. I don't know.
Because he's like definitely already a known character. I would think that they would mention him by name because they mentioned Roxy by name.
This is true. This is true.
That's messed. That is really messed up. But he doesn't get any. Seemingly, at least not in the synopsis. He doesn't get any mention, but he could still have like a B plot somewhere. Hopefully.
I mean, that's what we hope for. We hope for it, but I mean, I don't really necessarily think he's going to get a B plot. Anything, to be honest, I don't think he will. I mean, I kind of just feel like if he does, it'll probably be during that Roxy and Ravi episode. He might be in the background like, see, girl, I told you he wasn't no good girl. You know, something like that. You know, but other than that, I mean, I don't really see him really doing nothing. That's kind of sad.
That is
I mean, it's affecting me and my homegirls. So, you know, because we over here trying to feel like, well, damn, if you can't get Blaze in the show, where the hell could you get him? You know?
That's true.
But that's neither here nor there.
You're so stupid. Oh my
God. I'm just saying. But that was it, guys. That was the part of the show where we were just talking about the news. But we're gonna go ahead and get to the main part of the show. Yeah, go ahead, clear your throat, honey. Clear your throat, because we're going to get to the meat and potatoes. So I'm pretty sure everybody has been watching the news and has been, you know, noticing what's been going on and everything. And I just want to I honestly wanted to bring it up because it's something that has been affecting everybody, not just blacks, but everybody, because, you know, racism is something that something that should affect everyone. It's not just it shouldn't just be an issue that only one select group of people should have to endure. Like, it should be a call to action for everyone to basically go, okay, we need to stop this. This kind of behavior needs to cease. And also just it's mainly being escalated in a very violent fashion as of right now, especially with the protesting and everything that's been going on. So I'm pretty sure if most people have not been aware, if you've been living under a rock, I don't know. But if you haven't, or if you choose to be unaware, because there are a lot of people who are also choosing to not want to know what's going on, and that's okay too. That's okay too. If you choose to not want to be bothered, by all means. But I don't see how you could be a decent human being, without actually even wanting to care, But if you are not familiar, so a man by the name of George Floyd was murdered by the hands of police, and he is just another African American man killed by police brutality in the United States. And police brutality has always been something that has definitely been affecting the Black community for many, 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 many years due to institutionalized racism and all of the things that come along with it. So I wanted to just go ahead and take the time out to basically, for one, I want to thank the Rangers who have been saying things, who have stepped up since day one. The A1 day ones, like, yo, this is an issue. Like, do you see this? Do you see what's going on? This is crazy. Like, this is ridiculous. The ones who have been speaking out, thank you. Thank you. You are the reason why Power Rangers is, like, you are the reason why we look up to you as heroes. Because you're not just talking the talk, you're not just on camera being heroes in your spandex or whatever, and whatever have you, but you're actually living through it, living in it, in your actual lives. You're actually speaking up. You're actually being real heroes. And we cannot thank you enough. I know, at me being a Black man, and I'm pretty sure Will can say the same, like, seeing that kind of, like, courage to stand up, knowing that, there will be fans, and we've seen them. We've seen them. I know I have. I've definitely seen those egregious fans in the comment section, like, giving their opinions. They're such shitty opinions. And very ill-informed opinions as well, on the matter. And, these actors have been like, no, like, this is an issue. If you don't see it as an issue, that's your problem. That's your problem. So for all of the actors who have been standing up for what's right, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. From the bottom of our hearts here at Tribunal of the Grid, we thank you.
Sure.
For the ones who haven't, because don't think we don't see, we do. For the ones who haven't, I really do want to say something particularly to you. I really want to say something to you. I don't know because here's the thing. Brennan Mejia said something on his live that was so profound. He said something that on his live, on his IG stories, that was just so profound. He said that I don't care, and I'm paraphrasing here, but he basically said, I don't care if, I get looked at differently or if people view me differently because I decided to speak out. I just could not sit here and not say anything. I felt compelled to use my platform to say something. And I honestly feel, and this is no shade. I promise you, I'm being so serious right now. This is no shade to any of these actors who are choosing not to say anything. But how can you look us, especially a fan with my hue, with my skin tone, with my complexion, how could you look me in the eye and ask me to support you? Support whatever fan film you're doing. Support whatever you're buying, whatever you're selling, or whatever little, memorabilia or whatever you're trying to sell. How could you ask me to support you and you can't even do something as simple as stand up for just human decency? Like you say absolutely nothing. You're silent. That in itself, and I understand there's always that idea of I don't want anyone to look at me crazy or something like that. There's always that, and I get it. I get it. But I feel like I'd rather be on the side of justice and lose a couple followers here and there because I'm doing what's right versus not saying anything and just letting people letting these evil people stay in my friends list. Honestly, even if we do start losing, even if we do lose people with what I'm saying, even if we do, to be truthfully honest, I'm glad. I'm glad. If you do not see the value in people who does not look like you, if you don't see the value in their lives or in anyone's lives, especially those whose lives are being oppressed still to this day, if you don't see the value in that and standing up for what's right, for standing up for those people, for us, for me, for Will, for anyone being affected by this, if you don't see the value in that, Lena being a woman of color, if you don't see the value in that, please dismiss yourself. Dismiss yourself. I mean, that is literally my own personal feeling of it. And I'm being very, 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 very politically correct right now. Because I could really go off. I could really go off with how I really feel. But I'm going to be professional about it. But it just, at this time, right now, we need people, if you're not going to go to a protest, if you're not going to, if even if you can't protest, because maybe you might have a health issue. And it could be a situation where you're just like, I want to, but I can't. There's ways to support. You can donate to, you can donate to the cause. You could donate, donate your time. You could, repost, reshare. But most of all, listen. And I see this happening a lot with a lot of people online. There's not enough listening.
Nope.
It's just
Opinion.
Whenever we say, hey, exactly. It's just, whenever we say, hey, this is a problem, it's always met with, but.
Yeah.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
But.
Yeah.
No. Stop. Stop talking. Listen. Because if you listen to us, you will see we've been saying there's a problem the entire time. And now we have the facts to prove it. Especially with what's been happening for the past couple of days. You see that we've been right. You see it.
Yeah.
And it's just there is no but now. Now, if you choose the but, to me that basically says you just don't care. So I guess for me, like I said, now is just the time that we all need to stand up for what's right.
Yeah.
Stand up for justice. Stand up for each other at this point. Because that's the only thing. And educate ourselves.
Yeah. And like the other thing I wanted to say is I noticed a lot of people have been saying this too, is that they feel like they're being overwhelmed on social media with all of this so-called, how they phrase it, so-called, Black Lives Matter situation. And what's funny is like, and I seen someone actually respond to this, and I agree with this, is that it should make you feel uncomfortable. That's the idea. You should take it in and understand.
People dying,
Mm-hmm. And so I read that and I thought, are you kidding me? Like, you feel this is uncomfortable? Well, imagine having that racism to your face on a daily. You know?
Yeah.
And they're not listening. They're not getting it.
No. Because I literally had this discussion on actually Karen Ashley's page. One guy literally, when I schooled him on, that this stuff still exists, like 100 years ago 99 years ago actually, isn't that long ago. No. Like, your grandparents is probably still alive, who was probably very active during that point, during that time where, where people were doing, where white people were literally trying to lynch and kill blacks for no apparent reason, just for simply just being black. Like, your grandparents were alive. Your great grandparents were alive at that time. Like, 99 years ago isn't that long ago.
Nope.
And
or like 50 years ago.
Right. 50 years ago. I mean, exactly. Like, certain things, like, all of these things have happened in just the 19th century. Like, I'm not even going back to slavery. Just the 19th century alone. Like, your 1920s, 1930s. My grandmother was born in 1936. And even her, she told me, even when she was alive, she even told me the stories that she had to go through. She even expressed that. And she just passed. So if my grandmother was alive at that point and she experienced a lot of just racism and just all sorts of craziness, and she was still alive up until this year, these people who were committing these acts are still alive as well.
Yeah.
So that history is not too far removed. But we're being told so often, forget about it. That's history. That been happened. When I hear that, basically what that tells me is no one wants to take responsibility. No one wants to take responsibility because you're too ashamed. You want to brush it off like, oh, this doesn't affect me, when it does. It it does affect you. Or at least if you don't think it does, it should. It should affect you. And, just case in point, the reason why this hits home so hard for me was my grandmother passed, to the date of this episode, she passed about 2 weeks ago. And we had her funeral. I went back to South Carolina. We had her funeral. I come back Sunday. Monday afternoon, there was a riot there was a protest / riot in Van Nuys, which is where I live, in Van Nuys, California. A white woman, was walking down through the neighborhood. I was talking to my neighbor, minding my business, me and my neighbor, just having a conversation about what's happening. All of the cops were flying through the neighborhood. A lot of helicopters were flying through the air. And we're just talking about that and everything. And he was just like, it's too hot. I'm going to go ahead and go to, family in downtown LA. So I was like, okay, cool. Well, be safe, and make sure you avoid curfew. And make sure you get there before curfew is what I meant. So as he's leaving, this lady, mind you, she's like 2 houses down, just starts shouting a bunch of racist rhetoric towards me. I'm not going to say exactly what she said because she did say the N-word, so I'm not going to say exactly what she said.
Oh.
But even in that, this lady had so much rage towards me only because I'm minding my business while black, talking to my neighbor. She got that offended and blamed me, who is basically standing here talking to my neighbor, minding my business because I live in this neighborhood. I get called out of my name because she has that much hate towards me, blaming me for what's going on. That is why we say Black Lives Matter. That is why we say Black Lives Matter. Because it could have easily turned into a situation where she could have easily turned around and said, my life is in danger. If I would have retaliated against her, easily said my life is in danger, and I would probably be a hashtag. That is why we say Black Lives Matter. That is why. And just living here in LA alone, I've had a gun pulled on me by the LAPD twice.
What?
Yes. Once in 2009. Not 2009. Well, no, actually, once was in, it was, one of them was in South Carolina in 2009. The other one was here.
Shit.
In 2009, it happened to me in South Carolina. 2014, I want to say. 2014 was here in LA. And, and all I was doing was minding my business, literally. Especially here in LA. Like, I was literally walking down the street, carrying groceries. And they pulled over and thought that I was a suspect.
For what?
Didn't say. Just pulled over and drew a gun on me for no apparent reason. I could have lost my life twice. So when I tell you this is some real stuff, like, it just doesn't, police brutality, that stuff is real. When we're talking about this stuff, when we're saying, hey, this is real. This is happening to us. I'm not sure, Will, I'm not sure if you've had anything like that happen to you or, anything like that. But
I didn't get a gun pulled on me, but I had a cop threaten to hit me with her car. This was back in 2009, and I was coming home from work. It was like after 11, and I was kind of pushing it to catch the bus home. So I ran across the parking lot, and there happened to be some cops in the parking lot. Then, as right before I got to the street, to cross the street to get to the bus stop, a cop car comes and stops in front of me, and then I can't hear what the lady was saying, and then she opened up her door and told me to get on the ground or she'll run me the F over. And then I did what she said, and she told me that there was a robbery in the area, and that the suspect is black.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I'm sitting there. She asked for my information, and I tell her like I've been at work since 2 p.m. And when she's done, and I tell her I'm just trying to catch my bus. I'm trying to go home. And then after a few minutes, she gives me back my ID and tells me to go catch my bus. And then that was that. That so far that's been the only experience that I've had. But that was scary because I never experienced anything like that. Actually, sometimes for me, I don't know if either of you have seen this episode of Fresh Prince where Carlton, he was just so oblivious to
Oh yeah, I've seen that
things
one.
like that.
Yeah.
So basically, my whole life, I actually, up until that point, I was actually very similar to that. I just couldn't fathom it, especially since we see black people thriving on TV and sports, having businesses and all that type of stuff. So the idea of there still being racism, like of course there's still some, but obviously it can't be that bad, but it really still is. And then that was an eye-opening experience. And then just living and meeting people over the years since then, it really has opened my eyes to how bad things are. And then of course social media, because of that, we definitely get to see just how prevalent racism still is. So the whole, oh, you're playing the race card, oh, you're over exaggerating, like, no, these things are still really real, and they need to be addressed. And something that's really important is for the people for the non-black people, for white people, if you want to be an ally and you want to know what you can do to help, really, you have to educate yourself. You can't expect a black person to tell you what to do because that's not our responsibility. You have to
Amen.
do the work on your own. You have to check yourself. You have to check whatever biases are within you and question that. And then you have to figure out what books to read, what documentaries to watch to really try to get an understanding of what's happening and what's been happening.
Yeah.
It's rough. It's really rough. For me, it's been really stressful the last I guess like 2 weeks. Because like we found out about like 3 different unlawful killings of black people, like back to back. And some of them were like old cases, at least a couple of months old.
Right.
And then so and then like there's cases that I'm finding out about on Twitter like every day. Like so many people being killed just for being black.
Right.
By the police, by a white person that thinks that they have the right to police a black person. They have the right to tell someone, or ask them, why are you here, or accuse them of something and then kill them in cold blood. And all of this is happening while a damn pandemic is still going on. So it's like,
right.
What the hell?
Right. Right. That's the part that gets me, is that there's so much going on during an entire pandemic. Like what are you doing? It's just one of those things that make you go, like, even from a pandemic, we're still, like, racism doesn't sleep. Like, it's still a thing.
Well,
yeah.
It also did make it better that when this pandemic started, Donald Trump decided to call it the Chinese virus. That targeted a lot of Asian people too. So that was the start of this whole pandemic, was the race thing.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
So it's like just a bunch of racism going like all around.
It really is.
Oh my God! Another thing that's really unfortunate is so there has been, well, this is a good thing. There's been a lot of people paying attention this time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a good friend of mine, she had the theory that because we're in a pandemic, there's a lot of people still home, so they have no choice but to watch the news or be on social media and actually learning about what's happening right now.
Right.
So maybe that's a reason. But
that's sad,
we're seeing a lot. What's that?
That's sad though. It shouldn't take like that reason. You know what I mean? For you to educate yourself and for you to listen to what's really happening in your society, in your world.
Right.
Yeah. Well, So there's a lot of people that are gathering together of all different backgrounds and races, and there's been lots of protests, and there have been riots. So oh my goodness, Trump has called for the National Guard to come into cities to keep the citizens in check. As well as there's a bunch of police out there in riot gear. So there are protests. There are peaceful protests going on. And, of course, it's about police brutality. But the police are brutalizing citizens that are peacefully protesting. And some people aren't even a part of the protest. And they're still being attacked by the police with rubber bullets. I just saw a video of an elderly man. He's just walking, and the cop shoved him, and then he started bleeding out of his ear. I saw a picture of an elderly man. He was in a wheelchair. He got shot in the eye with a rubber bullet, and he was gushing blood everywhere.
Yeah, I saw
that. Right here in LA.
And oh my God! And then people just standing there with their signs. Then the cops will come through and spray them with pepper spray.
Like they're instigating violence at this point. Like they're doing it on purpose. Like that's really what's happening. And I mean, I've seen so many for the past few days, just so many videos and so many pictures of random acts of violence being perpetuated by the police. It's ridiculous. Like it's just straight, like, what is happening. You know, like, you can't even tell me at this point that what is happening is okay or right. You can't, like, at this point, you can't say that. Like, there's no way. There's no way under God's green earth you can literally sit here and say that, oh, protesters peacefully protesting, not doing anything, just peacefully protesting, deserve to be shot with rubber bullets and be injured. Even people who are just minding their business, shot with rubber bullets and, like, shot with tear gas.
I had no
business, that's not okay.
I had no clue what rubber bullets actually look like, the size of them,
Those things
or
are
the damage that they can do. That
yeah.
like, and I've heard that they've been. I don't know if this is a protocol or what, but to aim for the eyes. And there's been reporters, journalists who have been shot in the eyes.
Yeah.
Like in the last week. And of course, just regular protesters. I've seen quite a few who have either permanent eye damage or have lost their eye. Like, wow.
And I mean, I've even seen situations and stuff where they've even, like, I don't know whether they're being told to do that, like aim for the face or aim for the head. I don't know, but I know that there was one protester who got shot in the head, and literally he actually had his brain was bleeding, like he was actually bleeding from his brain and was hemorrhaging, but he's doing okay now. But you know, they're really trying to hurt people on purpose. But yet and still, though, people will. What I don't understand is that you still have people trying to come in defense of that, and it's like, how can you defend people minding their business or peacefully protesting, not looting, not rioting, peacefully protesting? How can you defend people getting shot and hurt? How can you defend that? But on the same token, you're literally going, when they show pictures of blacks in the 60s getting hosed down with water hoses and mauled by dogs by the police, that elicit some sort of emotion in you, but this won't, when it's the exact same thing. You have a problem with what's happening now, but you don't have a problem with what's happening back then. Like, I said it wrong. You have a problem with what's happening back then, but you don't have a problem with what's happening now.
I don't know. I think
I don't get how you can defend that. I don't.
I'm just assuming that for some people, it's really hard to believe that things like this are happening, even though it's happening right in front of your face. But and you
know what I say to that? You know what I say to that? If it's hard to believe, if that is hard to believe, then something is wrong with you. Something is wrong with you. If you're that shocked that it's so hard to believe that you're still that you're justifying, literally justifying what's happening because you're in that much disbelief, something is wrong with you. Because there's no way that you could be a conscious human being and say that, quote unquote, all lives matter. I know I'm triggering. Quote unquote, all lives matter, but you have no issue with this. Because I've been seeing that a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
With just people going, oh, all lives matter, but won't have an issue with police brutality.
Yeah. Something else is uh, people's thoughts on the police, and I'm assuming that there's people that still have the idea that police are, or should be held to a certain regard, and they're supposed to protect our community, so they deserve respect, or they're almost like in a sense like superheroes, I guess. But that's such a at this point that's such a childish mindset to have, especially once again, especially with all of the just the despicable things that so many of the police have done. And as we've said before, the countless murders of Black men, Black women, children by the police, in particular over the last, I'd say maybe 8 years, where we have social media, where we actually have seen video footage of these people unlawfully killing Black people.
Right.
And then of course all the decades of police brutality before social media was a thing, things that you can openly Google to find out, things that are public knowledge, but you're still holding them to this untouchable this level. And I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's about time we start looking at, first of all, and I actually want to say this as we, unless anyone else have anything else to say, I want to kind of just go ahead and wrap up this conversation with this. If you feel convicted, and you really want to help, and you're just like, I really want to do something. I really want to help because this is wrong, and if you really do want to help, there are ways. There are most certainly ways that you can actually help. That you can actually, help and actually do things to support is what I'm trying to say. I couldn't get that out. But you can donate to several causes. You can donate to Black Lives Matter, and it's blacklivesmatters.com. You can donate there. There are also other things as well, other websites that you can donate to. And if you can't donate, share as much information, correct information. Share as much correct information as you possibly can. Get the word out, get the truth out, because the only way that this is going to get better, because it's not going to get any better if we don't change, if hearts don't start changing, if minds don't start changing, this is going to only keep happening and getting worse. And the only possible, and for the life of me, I'm just going to say it, just go ahead and say it. I'm just going to say it. There's no way I feel you can be a part of this fandom and not see that there's a problem. When the show itself was created off of people from all walks of life coming together and working together as a team to defeat evil. There is evil in our faces right now. There is no way you could be a fandom in this fandom and not want to work together to solve this problem. but instead actually be on the opposite end of the spectrum and cause division instead. It just doesn't make sense. So once again, if you can donate, if you want to go out and protest peacefully, do that as well. Also, like I said before, there are Rangers who are supporting and who are sharing as much information as possible. We see you. We see you. We appreciate you. We love you. And we thank you. For those of you who are not, we also see you. And I don't know if I'm gonna, I don't know how I feel about you, but just know we see you. That's all I'm gonna say. We see you.
I guess just everybody out there, just try to have some empathy for other people. Just because it's not something that you personally have gone through, it doesn't mean that someone's lying about it.
Right.
Obviously, there's a lot of people that are hurting and that are afraid right now. So I think the best thing that you can do is have empathy, listen, and try to understand and try to help in any way that you can, because especially in our community, in our fandom, that's what being a Ranger is all about. Believing people, helping people, supporting people, and no division. Black Lives Matter is not about dividing anything. It's about paying attention to a group of people that are being oppressed, that are being murdered. And it obviously everyone matters, but in this case we're talking about a certain sect of people that are going through some hard times, and that have been going through hard times for centuries. This is nothing new, and this is also not made up. This is very real. So just have empathy and help any way that you can. And unity is so important right now.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Unity is true. That is true. Thank you, Will. That was good. All right. Well, I hope that y'all have listened to our words. I hope that you all have learned, or at least it is inspired. Or at least you are inspired to want to get out there and educate yourselves, because that's what's going to stop, this from, that's what's going to heal hearts and minds is education and just having empathy and love for each other. And with that being said, my name is Brandon.
I am Lena.
I'm Will.
And we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.